People, to the top 6 college football rundown.
Rundown?
Rundown!
Rundown!
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're here with the show where we run down the top 6 conferences in college football.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start off today with the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Or ACC for short.
Yeah, we got Clemson. They moved up to number 7 after a very tough win at Maryland, 56-45. Yeah, I said they were a dark horse national title contender. I'm starting to retract that statement because you got to be able to kill Maryland.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech moved up to number 12 after beating Wake Forest.
38-17, not at all.
Georgia Tech,
Number
though,
27.
lost to Virginia.
24-21. I don't know what was going on, but when I saw those highlights, they just kept running through that defense.
Georgia Tech, I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but this is not your year, guys.
And you suck.
All right, we'll move on to a conference that matters now, the Big 12. Oklahoma's number 3 after a whipping in Kansas. That's not really shocking.
47-17.
Texas is still ranked. They dropped to 24 after losing to Oklahoma State, who's now number 4.
Yeah.
I don't know why Texas is still ranked, and people keep giving them credit, even though I think their presence as a national power is over.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State, Van Gundy comes up with the win. He's a man.
Still 40.
Yeah. Oklahoma State, all the way. Anyway, Baylor fell from the rankings this week after I gave Texas A&M an ultimatum that they need to start playing better.
Criticism.
And they played better. They kicked the crap out of them, 55-28. This is the team that we expected to see at the beginning of the season.
Right.
I don't think this will be very long-lived, and you guys have already lost the Big 12, but hey, little consolation never hurt anybody. Number 11, Kansas State. That is way too high of a ranking for them. I know they beat Texas Tech 41-34, and I know they're undefeated, but
you know, they should be.
That's way too high of a ranking. And I mean, you beat Eastern Kentucky 10-7.
Yeah,
do I need to go any further into
keep coming back to haunt you guys. You know, I'm sorry for all you Kansas State fans out there.
The Big East, or should I say the West Virginia and everybody else conference?
Yeah, ranked 15, but really that's all we can.
And they had a bye week, and that's all.
That's about it. The next conference, Big 10.
Yeah, big week in the Big 10. First off, we'll start with Michigan. They fell to number 18 after a loss at Michigan State.
28-14.
What happened to Denard Robinson?
I have no idea.
He screwed up, man. He
usually screws up, but he can get back. But just this time around, he just wasn't there.
And, I mean, will the real Michigan State please stand up? I mean,
please stand up. Please stand up.
I mean, they got destroyed by Notre Dame. Absolutely killed. And you and I both know Notre Dame is a crappy football team.
I'm sorry for all you Notre Dame fans out there, but
you guys suck. You guys need to hire a new coach.
Yeah, you guys do.
And I don't know what happened in that game. So Michigan State moves up to 16th. I said East Lansing's a very tough place to play. I'm going to stand by that statement. I'm kind of disappointed, though. Michigan State played really dirty in that game.
Very.
I don't like that. That's not classy. Nebraska moves up to 13th during their bye week. These guys are still, in my opinion, 3rd place in their own division.
Yeah.
Illinois, I said they were overranked. Well, I'm going to say I was right. What? They were overranked.
Yeah.
They dropped to 23 after a loss at home against Ohio State where they only scored 1 touchdown. Shieldhouse with the deuce.
Yeah. That was a good call.
Wisconsin's number 6. They dropped because the BCS rankings don't respect them as much as the coaches do. I don't know why. They beat the tar out of Indiana again for the 2nd straight season. 59-7. They play at Michigan State next week, and this will be the real test of what caliber of team we have.
Right.
Wisconsin.
And Penn State, they made an appearance on on the BCS poll now, number 21.
I don't think they should belong there personally. I mean, they barely beat Purdue and barely beat a bunch of other teams. But I guess when you only lose by 16 to Alabama, that makes you
a bit, yeah. So all you Alabama people out there should feel happy. The teams that lose to you apparently go somewhere.
All right, we'll move to Auburn's conference.
Pac-12. All right. So hitting it up right now is number 8 Stanford. They're kind of overhyped this season, mostly because the teams they've played are not really good at all. Andrew Luck, he's up for Heisman, I guess. I hear the rumors that's going around. Yeah. But, as we've seen, teams that they play really make up these stats. And, if a team is horrible and a quarterback does well and scores all those touchdowns, it's really, not as meaningful. He could be still in the ranking, but that's not a good way to measure up. Then we go down to number 10, Oregon. They're pretty good. They still, we still have that loss to LSU on there, but that's fine. This last week they played Arizona State and they beat them 41-27. Arizona State, I gotta say, was pretty good in the first half. Second half, just like other teams Oregon has played, has just been knocked down. And then we'll go to, really, that's all there is to it for the Pac-12. Now to the SEC.
All right. Well, in the SEC, we got LSU, number 1, again. Not surprising.
Right.
They beat Tennessee 38-7. Not surprising.
Not surprising at all.
Alabama's number 2 again. I still think they're number 2. I think LSU's a better team. They beat Ole Miss 52-7.
I think Alabama will come back versus LSU. For all you Tigers fans out there, it's great that your team has been doing well, but the short passes are just not going to do it. Alabama's defense.
They don't need to, man.
I don't know, dude. We'll have to see. We got to see.
All right. Auburn moves up to number 20. They beat Florida 17-6. That's a good win.
Yeah, Brantley's out. Their second string quarterback is out. What's to expect? Not too much.
They've already lost the conference in the division, but I would love to see them knock off Alabama so my Badgers have more credibility. Anyway, number 9, Arkansas. They were number 10 last week. They had the week off. I don't think they're as good as their ranking. I think we'll find out what kind of football team they are later in the year. South Carolina's at number 14 after coming off a just ugly win against Mississippi State. That was an ugly football game. Yeah. I don't think they deserved to win.
I think they should have actually gone down in ranking just because they just barely beat them. That should be a loss, yeah.
And I'm sorry, they are an overrated football team.
But Shaw was pretty good. Shaw's a pretty good quarterback.
I don't think he's that good.
He can run. He can run like Garcia.
He only scored 2 touchdowns.
And a funny tip is, or a fact actually, is Garcia got thrown out of his team because he failed an exam. Come on, people. You fail an exam. That shows how sucky you can really be.
Anyway, I think South Carolina has 2 more losses on their schedule. We're going to call it right here. Arkansas and Tennessee.
I'm not going to argue there.
Georgia, I say keep your heads up. They got an easy schedule coming up. The only tough games against Auburn. I think they'll win it.
I think Auburn will beat them just because even though they play at Georgia, they're just looking pretty good this year. But we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, some other things to talk about. Heisman
watches.
I say Andrew Luck should not be the front runner. He's played no competition. I'm kind of high on Landry Jones right now. I'm obviously high on Russell Wilson, but that's just a homer. I think Landry Jones is playing a tough schedule. That's why his stats are really as impressive.
Oh, yeah.
But, who's Luck played? Come on. He's played Colorado and Utah.
Yeah.
I could go out there and start against Colorado.
Yeah, anyone really could. They're horrible additions to the Pac-12.
One team that is looking good, again, shockingly, is Washington in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Number 25 right now, but still, they've just barely beaten really, really horrible teams. So really, I don't think they should even be ranked. But that's just my personal opinion.
We'll see what happens against Stanford.
We will see what happens. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for the top 6 rundown.
So wrap up.
See y'all later.
See ya. Peace.